Hi guys, so I wanted to make a video about my ownership experience with my Dodge Hellcat Challenger Redeye Widebody. So that's a mouthful. So just a caveat, so I owned the Hellcat Redeye for almost about an year. I drove about 4,000 miles, but I traded that car earlier in 2021 for my Corvette Z06, as some of you guys know. So yeah, I wanted to still make a video and give you an impression of the car, and then also talk about one of the interesting things which happened. So I did a tire mod, so I changed the stock tires, hoping that I'll get something better. And in fact, that was one move which I regret, because that was probably one of the reasons I mean, I ended up not enjoying the car so much going forward, and then I even decided that I should just get rid of it. So yeah, I mean, this video is more about my impressions on the Challenger Hellcat Redeye, and then also talking about the tire mod I did and the tire I chose, and then how it went wrong, and kind of mixed emotions there. So yeah, talking about the Redeye, well, I mean, one of the best cars I've owned. I never thought that I'll sell this car, so I'm still amazed till this day that how did I end up selling it. A beautiful machine. I traded a Scat Pack Widebody to get into a Redeye, and I have zero regrets doing that. I ended up driving all the way to North Carolina, Charlotte from Dallas, Texas, in the Scat Pack, which was just a 20-day-old car, to trade it for the Redeye in North Carolina, Charlotte. And yeah, and as I said, no regrets whatsoever. It was a great drive. I was super excited. So that was the drive in the Scat Pack. So this car is the Scat Pack. I drove all the way to North Carolina, Charlotte, about 1,000 miles. So I started when I had 1,000 miles on the car, and by the time I reached, it had 2,000 miles, and that's when it got traded. I got pretty decent price for it. I think I got like $48,000 back. I lost $6,000, so not bad. And the dealership where I did it all was Keffer, Chrysler and Dodge. Pretty nice dealership. I love the ambience. And back in the day, this is all from December 2020, they had a huge inventory of vehicles. I guess at that time the chip shortage was not as bad as what it is now. So yeah, I mean, great dealership, great buying experience. We stayed there overnight because it was pretty long drive, more than 12 to 15 hour driving the car, but a very memorable experience. And coming to the car, I mean, I did test drive one or two Hellcats, but I never drove Redeye before. So for me, it was really driving it for the first time. So it was my car which I drove for the first time. And that's Keffer dealership, so that's inside footage. I love this Charger they had. This was Hellcat Widebody, because at that time the Hellcat Redeye Chargers Widebodies were not out. So yeah, I mean, Redeye, awesome machine. I loved the low end torque. I loved that surge. I love the throttle response, because all my other cars have pedal commander and throttle response except the Redeye. I never felt the need. The car was always ready to get up and go. Huge pull, like the strongest was like that 60 to 150 was a super strong pull. I did go for a couple of drag strips and Texas mile run, and I hit my highest was 172 miles per hour in a Texas mile run. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with the car, and that's the video of my Scat Pack which I traded side to side with my Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. I spoke about this in my Scat Pack trade video as well. The stance on the Redeye was lower. So as you can see in this video, the Redeye sits lower, especially at the back. I think about an inch or even more lower than the Scat Pack. So it looks nicer. Obviously, I didn't like how tugged in the tires are on both cars, and that was the reason I ended up going for Michelin Pilot Super Sport, the wider tires, hoping to get a better stance. But that decision definitely blew up. So yeah, I mean, great machine, true definition of muscle car. You cannot go wrong. If you want road presence, you want head turn, it's a big car, it's a heavy car, and still runs and pulls and can shame sports cars in a straight roll runs and stuff. it feels to me that my Corvette C706 is faster. So I feel like this car is faster than the ZL1. I feel somehow my C706, because my car is lighter and has an X pipe and a cold air intake, and maybe that is the reason it feels faster. So it's quite close battle between this and the Corvette. But the Shelby GT500 is definitely faster because I have driven both cars on similar roads. I think Shelby will pull a couple of car lengths on the Dodge. But again, that doesn't take anything away from the Dodge. In my experience, I just started craving a bit more handling, and I think it wasn't a great handler the moment you hit corners. I mean, you feel baller and you feel like, yes, I can do it and I will do it, but the car will not inspire you in the corner. So no hate against the Redeye, but I mean, that was the primary reason. And that was the reason I wanted to do the tire mod. So I went to that Michelin Pilot Super Sport because I heard Michelins are great. But what happened was, I think because the tires come with a very softer sidewall, it developed a side-to-side sway in those hard pull acceleration situations. So when you pull from 60 to 110, 120, the car will sway from side to side. And no matter what I did, stiffening the suspension in track mode or increasing the tire pressure, nothing helped. I mean, it will mild it a bit, but then create some other problem. And I was stuck because I put tire stickers on the tires, so Michelin will not take them back because they do have a policy you can return if you don't like them. So my option was just throw that tire and just get done with the $2,500. And I was already, I mean, craving a better handling. So I think that all combined came to a position where I wanted to trade the car, and that's the reason I ended up trading this car. But yeah, I mean, that nothing takes away from how amazing this car was. So that's the Pilot Super Sport tire I was talking about. So I got it in the size as we spoke about in the video, 335 35 R20s. I mean, extreme summer performance tire. I had a lot of high hopes, but I mean, it just didn't perform. That's this one side to side with my stock tire, which was Pirelli P0s. I got all the work done at Discount Tire. I still like and recommend these guys because I think they're great, and plus the policy of getting rid of any problem or challenge you have. They do have a 30-day return policy. You can get into a different tire and they'll credit everything to the other tire. And I think that's probably a Michelin policy. I'm not sure if it's a Discount Tire policy. But yeah, that was the tire we got, and this was a tire sticker. So you can see it came as all these different pieces, and it needs to go with super glue. You have to be very careful. So my buddies at WB Installation did all the job. I loved how it looked, but in the long run, I probably wouldn't do that again because it's impossible to keep this clean. So this one will get super ugly and dirty with time, with a tire shine. So either you don't use tire shine, and I don't like it that way. So yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it again. So yeah, guys, this was my initial impression with the tire and everything I went through. So yeah, enjoy the video.